like almost personal, like personally advertising. You're personally marketing yourself. You don't got to pay to do it. And it gets the word out. If people like what you have, basically it comes down to this. Any kind of business information that I've ever gathered in just the short few years I've been around, anyway, alive, it comes down basically to this. If you have something that people like, people will tell others about it. That's the biggest way to do so. And nowadays, the way people do the word of mouth, it's not even the word of mouth. It's the point of click, really, is what it is nowadays. That's the same, it's synonymous. It's the same thing, just different age. And what's really fun is that no one can stop you from truly, because we forget we can really, truly do whatever the heck we want, anytime, at all times, whatever. And people can't stop people from liking things. I mean, the government may be trying to figure out how to do that, but, whatever. I don't think they're going to be able to figure it out and maintain it and apply it. Because
you're saying the government is not going to be able to maintain what?
Like they won't be able to maintain let me think. I'm trying to think of the right word.
Can I ask you guys a question? I'm a young man myself, and I'm in high school right now, and I'm just wondering, is this program talking about like big corporations or just political opinions, stuff like that?
What we're discussing primarily is how the big corporations are marginalizing and basically abusing the middle class and the working class. In the particular example that I'm experiencing right now, I've already been through the eBay thing. Dan can tell you that. I wrote a book about that, an ebook that's available on Amazon, Noise, the Decline and Fall of eBay, that deals with how small sellers were shoved under the carpet by eBay when they started favoring the big guy. That's happening now over at YouTube. Basically, the little guy's being demonetized, the small content creator. They've set a bar so high that most small content creators won't be able to achieve it, so they're going to lose monetization. And
how did they set that bar? How did they set that bar?
The new rules, they switched the terms of service on a whim. And they just announced about a week ago that the new terms of service that go into effect on February 18th, in order for a small content creator to achieve monetization, they now must have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Well, that is extremely difficult. That's going to cut out 95% of the small content. 95% of the small content creators will be demonetized by that.
Do I need any?
Well, see, Rich, here we go back with the same argument with eBay. Like, all right, so we're saying that, well, somebody started another auction site. Excuse me, man. Another auction.
I'm not holidays, my apologies.
Like the experiment, like with eBay, we're saying, well, and this is a free world. This is a free capitalistic world. And you had a good friend that tried to start an auction site, and Bonanza was up, and Etsy's up. But once somebody gets a stranglehold on the traffic on the web, he who has the most traffic kind of dictates where the trends and the rules are made, and nobody can come up and nobody can compete with eBay. And somebody could, hey, I'd love to be the guy that starts the next YouTube for the free people, for the small guy, and make a bunch of money. But you know what? It's not going to, because now it's a household world. It streams off my Roku stick. I stream it on the high definition big screen TV into my living room. Hey, man, they're already on top of the game.
Yeah, if I may add to that a bit, we're talking about how he who has the most traffic wins, and that's true. And and once again, that goes back to, if you have something good, if it's worth it, they will come. They will be there. They'll go there, and more people will tell people about it. More will, the multiplier, apply. However, what's making it so wrong, and in the corruption thing, is that the government is putting, you can purchase more traffic. We'll do this for you if you do it like this. If you give us money, we'll make it to where you get seen more, which is messed up.
I think you're talking about the net neutrality issue, which is a different issue, a very important issue.
I was just thinking that. Thank you.
Yeah, and before we get off topic, I just wanted to have real quick a disclaimer before I forget. My phone may die. I may end up leaving the conversation. That's point one. And point two, to the person who is in high school who asks what forum of rant this is, truly it is a rant of anything you can do. However, it changes topics just to fill you in. Layman terms, simplify. And currently, this is the topic right now.
The other thing.
It applies to everybody's future, including yours.
Go ahead, Dan.
The other advantage that these other people have is time, skin in the game, time in the game. In other words, you could reinvent this eBay, or you could reinvent Amazon, or you could reinvent YouTube and the monetization, but they've got 23, 30 years on you, of traffic.
Well, and they've got gigantic, deep pockets. You're talking billions of dollars there at YouTube already.
Huge
pockets.
Huge pockets to throw at it. They got nothing to do but throw that money at it, and the one with the biggest wallet wins. In that respect, truly. And it's a shame. It really is.
We're seeing economic the barriers of entry. The barriers of entry have raised the bar. They've raised the bar. The barriers of entry into this business has now been raised. And if you want to play the ball game, you have to get the 4,000. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours. Bottom line. Yeah. That's what they'll tell you. It's not a antitrust issue. It's an issue.
It's a prerequisite. It's a prerequisite.
It's your problem. You got to get up. You got to come up to standard. And that's all. I hate to tell you this. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the way it works. They've got the power to do that.
I would like to interject, and then I'd like to hear
your comment.
But I think net neutrality is good, and it's going to help prevent that.
What?
I think net neutrality is good, and it's going to help, smaller people get above.
And I can see how you say. I can see how you'd say that, because that's just how it's really marketed. So no one really opposes it or digs any deeper. Just like with anything that's implemented that can dictate how you behave or how you interact with something. Like any new rules they decide to go ahead and make happen. Because, however, the net neutrality takes away the equality status that we all have as soon as we turn and hit that power button on our desktop, phone, computer, tablet, whatever you may have. As soon as you hit that button and you click on the World Wide Web, we instantly are all equal, right? We can all do exactly what the other one does if we just learn how to do so. So, ideally, and originally, whenever the Internet first came out, that was what we did. We all explored it. We were excited. It was new, and we all were on the same page. Now, money has spoken, and it has taken a little bit of a higher leap than the rest of us. However, with net neutrality, before net neutrality, before getting the whole implementation of this new crud they're trying to do, I think, my opinion anyway. But before, I think
the government's trying to help us. The government's really good, and they're on our side.
Well, like I said, that's a wonderful marketing ploy that they use in their commercial to make sure that you don't try to question that. Because if you dig, I swear, if you dig, you will.
I want to take a moment to hear from
a little bit.
I would like to take a moment to hear from North Georgia. I think you had a comment to make, North Georgia.
Oh, yes, I did. One.
Oh, sorry.
With the factor of throwing money at the problem to fix it, in our case, that won't have. Well, we can buy subs and we can buy watch minutes, but once you get to that certain level where YouTube says, okay, you have acquired everything that we have stated so far. Now we're going to launch an investigation and see how many of those are bots. Has been done by bots. And they will. They do their research. It may take them 6 months.
What do you mean a bot? I'm sorry.
Like a computer. You know how you got to enter that security code that says, "Are you a robot?" Enter this number and letters up here sequence.
Okay.
Bot. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Ashley's 2.5 miles away. I got it.
You can purchase subs and you can purchase views, but like I said, they will come back eventually and catch you, and then that's when most channels get deleted for purchasing.
It's kind of like how if you're creating Facebook profiles to add to your friends list, I have 50 friends, but you're actually 30 of the people of the friends. It doesn't matter, and they're not trying to count the ones that you made. They want you to have the actual folks subscribing, following, liking, and sharing, and being there for it and supporting it. They don't want something that you made in order to pump yourself up, which is kind of hypocritical considering they want you to purchase. They want you to pay to be promoted. You know.
I'd like to weigh in for a minute too on the bot thing, and everyone listening, I want to further define bots as they exist over there on YouTube. What it actually is that we're calling a bot on YouTube is an algorithm that will select out videos and decide that if it has hate speech or if it has content that's not appropriate to advertisers, whatever that means, the bot will come in and the bot will come in and will shall I say the algorithm will demonetize your videos. Now I've had that happen to me a lot. It didn't start until around October, November. And videos that had been up and were making money and had ads on them and everybody was happy with them and there was nothing wrong with those videos, all of a sudden the new algorithm that they put into place is going around demonetizing. Now, you can go through a review process, an appeal process, and I do, and most of the time I win. Not anymore because I won't have the 1,000 subscribers. But my friend out there in the North Georgia knows what I'm talking about. Basically, that there was an algorithm that was going around and determining whether your video was advertiser friendly or not, you know, and then it would decide that it wasn't, and then you'll lose your ad revenue. They'll just quit running ads on that. They'll demonetize it, and most of the time, the algorithm is incorrect. Most of the time, the bot is wrong. But what did it do? It slaughtered a bunch of videos, destroyed a bunch of monetization for, once again, who was affected by that? The small content creator, not the Logan Paul, who's already making $1.2 million a year, that's going and shooting the dead body hanging in the suicide forest in Japan. And it's not the big guys at YouTube that are getting thrown out. It's not the big guys that are getting demonetized. Why? Because they're making all of the money. They're the ones who are raking in the big bucks. So let's just sweep all the little guys under the carpet. That's what the boardroom of YouTube decided.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You have to remember that YouTube isn't a government; it's a company, and they
understood, but
whatever standards. That's what makes America so great. They don't have to listen. They don't have to have morale or empathy for small people.
You know how like milk in your fridge is a staple for your fridge? Yeah, you're right. It's not the government. YouTube ain't the government. But you know what? Neither is Facebook either. However, the Facebook is also partially owned by the Federal, Bureau of Investigation within the United States government. So people can buy into it. And if you think that the government does not have any say-so and dictation over, the products that you see, the videos you see, then I'm not being, no love lost. It's just I feel that you're wrong on that if you think that they don't have their fingers in that honey pot.
Well, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg is dumb. He sold a lot of stock recently. Anyway, go ahead, Dan.
Mark Zuckerberg and YouTube, there's a big difference. Mark Zuckerberg is a dirty little fiend that likes to get money no matter what. While YouTube is just a company trying to get money, and they really don't care, what happens to the lower or the little guy.
Well, I was just using that as an example. I was just using it, as a comparison example as to how it can truly be done with something that could honestly be innocent and a useful tool for the masses that would use it for the World Wide Web. Yet,
Are you guys for? Oh, sorry, I didn't let you finish.
Oh well, thank you. But no, go ahead. You're good.
I was going to ask, are you guys pro-gov or are you anti-gov?
Well, it depends on what the government's doing. I think there's a line and that shouldn't be crossed. And I think that small independent businesses are tired of the level of regulation that's been going on for many years. And I think that big corporations, of course, like that because the big corporations want to make it harder and harder for the little guy to operate. And, basically the big corporation is trying to take over everything. And the way to do that, of course, is to eliminate anything competing. In other words, you go into an inner city and the little mom and pop coffee shop disappears. But guess what? Starbucks opened up. Why? Because Starbucks has the deep pockets. They're corporate. So let's squeeze the little guy out. Let's gentrify the neighborhood by bringing in corporate tanks. Go ahead.
That would be unconstitutional, though, if the government came into the business.
All we're doing here is a bunch of complaining. That's all I hear right now. Like Trump said,
well, yeah, it is irrational. We're supposed to complain.
He said rules were made, laws were made, but not to be fair to everyone. And that's what I think is going on here. But all I hear is we need to come up with some solutions.
Truly, the solution would only be to band together and unite and to figure out something that we collectively can do and can pull off that would benefit the little guys without taking advantage of anybody. Truly, because if you want to do it right, you need to do it right. However, the trouble with that is that we try so hard to divide ourselves away from anybody else. We're so worried about differences and such as, like worried about labels like anti-gov and stuff. Ain't no big deal. I get it, but you just can't zero in and specifies it like that. You must broaden it bigger, and the general masses wouldn't do that. People who hear that there's the problems going on like this, and control issues happening within things that shouldn't be controlled like that, people will instantly, dismiss it because there's so much ridiculous baloney out there that they're being fed consistently, and it's hard for us all to band together because it's hard for people to come together to even listen.
Well, and the go ahead.
Comment.
Can I give you an analogy?
I'm listening.
I have a solution for the small content creators. Okay, I have personally seen this happen in the past. My biggest video has over 30,000 views. I mean, towering any of my other views. For 8 months that it came out, it trickled in views. The minute it was added to somebody else's playlist, my views shot through the roof. If we take and find a video or two videos of other small content creators and add it to our playlist, like the past couple of people I've been talking to in the last 24, 48 hours, and the group I just recently joined on Facebook, I think last night, I've checked out, I've looked at their stats. I'm the powerhouse as far as how many they all came together. They're bringing in like a couple of thousand. Here I am, I'm pushing almost 6,000. So how do I help them out? I go over and find a video that I like of theirs. I created a brand new playlist, and I put their videos in there. So the algorithm, when I get done editing my playlist for it, and when I say edit, I'm not talking about adding and deleting videos from it. I'm talking about actually the SEO data on it. I'm going to generate a higher rank for that playlist, and the algorithm's going to work for us. And more than likely, I'm going to leave their videos at the top, so they'll be the first to be viewed out of that playlist.
Heck yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good application.
There we go. Someone had asked something that we could do that would improve things. That's it. That is a solution there. And by the way, I will be adding some of your videos to some of my playlists tonight, and you can do the same with mine, and that'll help both of us. And I absolutely agree with your idea. And you should put that in a video and put it on there. Get this out to the other. Get this out to the other small content creators. Definitely.
I did that today.
I guess you guys just have to move the porn if YouTube isn't working out.
Excuse me, just 1 second.
That's a different issue right there, because I know nobody's going to stop watching that.
Yeah, the small content creators on Pornhub aren't getting, the attention they deserve.
I can see where YouTube's logic is. I can see this so very well. It's like, if you have anything worth seeing, you got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? And I like what this woman said about banding. People don't band together. I've heard this so often, like boycott eBay, boycott Amazon, and I'm guilty of it myself. Boycott this, but people don't do that. For everybody,
you can't boycott.
We're a self-serving society in the future. I mean, we're not going to sit there and just not use something that we want to use because we're going to do what we want.
But if it's like, well,
we might want to not use it, but we won't.
If they burn you or they burn me, I can't expect you or her or the other 10 million people out there to quit using eBay or quit using